Number 4, it wants us to calculate the slope between these points, the distance between them, and what is the middle point between them. So slope, if we remember slope, which is represented by m, it's rise over run, or remember, rise with the y's and run to the x's. So it's the change in your y's over the change in your x's. So we just have to subtract our y's divided by subtract our x's, because it's telling us how much it goes up, that's the change in the y's, divided by how much it goes over, change in the x's. So I'm going to go 8 minus 4, because that just works much better for me. Since I start with the 8, I must start with the 1. 1 minus 3. So 8 minus 4 is 4. 1 minus 3 is negative 2. That means our slope is negative 2. So the slope here will be negative 2 between these points. So let's just put that here. Hey, we got a slope of negative 2. The distance between them, well, if you plot them and you plot the other, you have a line there. However it looks, it could be going that way, it could be going that way, we don't know. But I do know that I can find the difference in my x's right here will be this horizontal leg. Going up will be the change in my y values. And then I can use the Pythagorean theorem that says, hey, this leg squared plus that leg squared equals the hypotenuse squared. So the distance formula, we simply write it, hey, I'm going to subtract my x's. I'm going to square that value. That'll be this length squared plus I then need this length. Change my y's. I'm going to square it. I'm going to add those two together. And to get the c, remember this leg squared plus that leg squared equals c squared. To get c by itself, I'm going to have to take the square root. And that's what we do here. So changing your x's. Well, looking back at your x's, 1 and 3, how much do they differ by? 2. So that's 2 squared plus difference in my y's, 8 and 4, differ by 4, 4 squared. So that's 4 plus 16, so that's the square root of 20. Let's go ahead and do that, and that will end up being about 4.47, I believe, so it's about 4.5. That's what we'll get for our distance between those 2 points. Finally, the midpoint. The midpoint is the middle between the guys, okay, the middle of your grades. If you make an 80 and a 90, how do you find the middle? You add them together. Divide by 2. That's how we find the middle of anything. So the midpoint is simply going to be, we're going to add our x's together, x sub 1 plus x sub 2, and divide by 2. And do the same thing for our y's. Add our y's together, divide by 2. So our x is 1 plus 3 divided by 2. Our y's are 8 and 4, so 8 plus 4 divided by 2. So that's 4 divided by 2 gives me 2. 8 plus 4 is 12. 12 divided by 2, 6. 2, 6 is the dead middle between those 2 points.